We can save hours of work in MS Excel using Power Query. Here in this video, I'll demonstrate how to combine multiple Excel files and refine the data therein and analyze it with the help of Power Query. Let's get into it. Here in this folder, we have dummy sales data of an imaginary company for 3 quarters of the year, where customers ships the good is per order and quantity demanded. Now we need to combine the sales data of the 3 quarters of the year into a consolidated sheet. First, let me open a new Microsoft Excel sheet with the name Combine Data. First, let us bring in the data into Microsoft Excel. So first, we will go to Data tab, Get Data, and you can see over here we have a number of options to bring in the data into Power Query. File, since our data is in a folder, so we will go to from File, from a folder. Since we have our data on desktop and this is this one Excel data. Click over it, click on open. Now you can see Power Query is starting to open. Here in this window, we can see we have all the 3 Excel files right over here. Let's go to the bottom. Here you can see we can actually load it to Power Query. We can transform the data or we can cancel it out right from here. But here in combine, since we want to combine it and transform the data, so I'll choose this option, combine and transform data. Let me click over it. Now you can see it's evaluating it, and there you can see we have this a new window, combine files. Under the display options, if I'm going to click on sheet 1, we can see our sheet 1 with the entire data inside it. Now let me click on OK, and there you can see our data gets opened in a Power Query. This is called Power Query Editor. First, let me show you on the left. So these are the steps that have been taken, and if you want to go back to the previous step, you can actually cut it out from here. But first, let me show you whether it has merged all our data into one sheet or not. Simply click over here and you can see it has combined all our data into one. This is the first quarter data, second quarter, and this is the third quarter. You can also confirm it right from here. These are the first quarter, second quarter. As we move down, we have this third quarter. Since the data has been combined, we don't need this source name column. We can actually delete it right from here. So simply right click on the source name and remove the column right from here. We can also remove the column right from the ribbon as well. Over here you can see we have remove column option. So simply click over it and you can see the column is removed. But if you want to go back to the column, you can simply click over here and we will get back to our column in no time. So whatever options you see right over here on the ribbon can be had by right clicking over here and choosing from these options. So let me remove it again. Over here you can see we have order date and the ship date. If you want, you can bring them side by side. Let me click on the order date, double click and hold it and bring it right over here. And there you can see ship date and order date side by side. Now let's say our boss is interested to know how many days goes between the ship date and the order date. We can actually calculate. So simply click on the ship date first, then hold the control key and click on order date. It must be noted that the order of selection does matter in this case. As we have selected the ship date first, then the order date, and we are gonna subtract the ship date from the order date, the selection order will be followed. Now both the columns are selected. Go to add column. And here from date and time group, we have date option. Simply click on subtract days. And there you go. These are the number of days that goes between order date and the ship date. Simply double click over here and change the captions to delivery time. Right over here, you can see we have the retail price for each item, and over here the quantity ordered. And here we have our tax deducted, and in this column we have a total US dollar, including our revenue as well as the tax. Now, if our boss is interested to know only the revenue, then you can actually subtract this particular column tax from the total US dollar, or alternatively, you can actually multiply order with retail price. So let me go for this option. I'm gonna select this retail price. Again, hold the control key and click on order quantity. Again, we'll go to add column where we already are. Now go to standard, and over here we can use this particular option, multiply. So click over it and there you go. Now this is actually the revenue obtained for each date. So let me double click over it and change it to revenue. Over here in the customer name, let's say we have to separate the first and the second name. We can easily do that. Let me click on customer name column, go to transform data, and here you can see we have this option split the column. You can also go right over here by right clicking over here, go to transform, go to split column, and we can split it right from here. Let me click on by delimiter. You can also see the other options given over here, but let me choose this option as we have a space between the two names, so I would click on by delimiter, and you can see it has already picked up that we have a space between the two names. If you have hyphen, comma, equal sign, semicolon, you can choose it right from here, but it has already picked up the delimiter. Now simply click on OK, and there you go. We have first name gets separated from the second name. So let me double click over here and write first name, and in the second column we would write second name. There are some other options that you can use as well. For example, let me click on first name, right click. In the transform, you can see we have this option. We can convert these name into lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word. Let me click on uppercase, and you can see the first name gets capitalized. Since this particular step was not required, so we can simply cancel it right from here. If, for example, in the original data set, these two names were in separate column and you want them to be merged into one single column, again, you can select them like this and go to add column and simply click on merge columns. Again, there is no separator, simply click on OK, and there you can see the columns gets merged together. Again, it's not required in this particular case, so I would cancel out right from here. Finally, we want to have a dollar signs beside revenue, so simply click over here and we have this option currency. Click over it and you can see currency sign gets added to it. And in the same way we can do with tax as well as total US dollars. Once you are satisfied with all the refining done, you can go to home tab and from here click on close and load, and now you can see it's getting loaded into Microsoft Excel, and there you go. Let me close this side window. So this is the refined data that you can see right over here. It includes all the data from the 3 quarters merged together. Now, if you want your data to be summarized with a pivot table, easy to understand and easy to be followed, then you can use this particular option, summarize with pivot table. And you can also go right over here into insert option and choose from here pivot table. Let me click on pivot table. Here we have this option, pivot table from a table or range, existing worksheet, new worksheet. Let's use this new worksheet. Click on OK. Now we can actually analyze it and summarize it using filters, columns, rows, and values. For example, let me grab this revenue and bring it into value option like this, and in the rows field I want to bring in the first name. So simply grab the name from here and bring it right over here into rows. And now over here you can see we have all the data summarized according to each sellers. Similarly, you can also make it more comprehensive by adding 2 or more fields. For example, I can click on this order quantity and bring it into columns like this, and now you have the data arranged like this. But if you want to remove it, simply grab it and take it out like this. Now if you want to present this data in the form of a chart, then you can simply go over here into insert tab, and from the charts option you can choose these 2D line option. Let me click over here and there you go. Now let's say you have summarized all your data and presented this into the form of a chart, and suddenly your boss comes to you and tells you that the data for the 4th quarter has been arrived. You can simply grab it and bring it into your Excel file, comes right over here and simply click on refresh all, then your data would gets updated without repeating all those steps that you have been through. So that was it for today's tutorial. I hope you have found this tutorial useful. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.